So I'm going to challenge you today to get really honest with yourself and see how this is showing up within your partnership. So we tend to do this thing as adults where when we really feel that we need to be loved, nurtured, there's something that we're looking for in our partner, that rather than use communication and ask for what we need, again, another video on that one, step 2, we find ourselves feeling really resentful. We find ourselves feeling frustrated, annoyed, agitated. And what do? We start to scream out, maybe with our actions or maybe really with our words, maybe with the tone of our voice. We start to criticize, we start to push buttons. There is a lot of contempt for our partner. There is a lot of, you always this and you never that and blah, blah, blah. Really what we're doing is this desperate attempt to show them how bad we're hurting. I found myself within my marriage often that even when I felt that I was ready to forgive, I didn't actually want to, or I didn't want my partner to be able to see that I had let it go. Because there was this part of me that thought if he doesn't see me in pain, he's going to let it go. So if he sees me in pain, if he sees me visibly agitated still, then he is going to reach out more. He's going to try to love more, nurture me more, whatever. Obviously, that plan does not work because all that does is trigger your partner's wounding and pushes them away. But what I want to talk about and share, because this is very common for a lot of couples within relationship, not even just romantic relationship, that there is something actually going on that's causing this. This is not happening by choice. This is subconscious programming. What's happening is we are going into a program of when we were babies. We're going into infancy. When you're a baby, what happens? You don't have words. You can't say what you need or want. You can't verbalize. So we cry. What we tend to find is the louder we cry, the more fussy and agitated we seem, the quicker mom runs over to soothe us, nurture us, give us all the things we need. So when we get into that triggered state where our body and our nervous system is shutting down and we're like, I need that love, I need that nurture right now, whatever your love language is, maybe you need the words of affirmation, you need the hug, whatever your thing is. You're craving it, you're needing it. We transfer into our primal brain. We go into that old programming and you are literally in infancy. If I cry louder, if I get fussier, if I get more agitated, they are going to see me and they are going to anticipate my needs and they are going to come running. Unfortunately, that tactic doesn't work. That takes us to needing to be able to verbally communicate what we need. But before we can even communicate what we need, what we really need to establish within the partnership, within the relationship, is the safe space in between. Because when you also haven't established a safe way to communicate, a safety and trust between each other and connection, it could also feel threatening if your partner were to actually ask you and verbalize, because they could just simply be saying, you know what I need right now is really just a hug. I just need you to tell me you love me or whatever the case. If the partner is in their trigger, the reactivity, they're just going to hear, oh, I'm not doing something right, I'm doing something wrong, and now you're going to tell me how to be with you. So what happens first is learning and establishing that safe space between the two, where you water this well of connection and communication between the two of you. And then you catch yourself when this starts to show up. What do I actually need right now? And how can I communicate this in a non-threatening way? Because if not, we're just trapped in that programming, that little baby that's just screaming out. On one hand, for me, when I learned this, it made so much sense. Like, oh shit, that is what I was doing. Okay, it makes sense. But next step 2, reprogramming, coming up with better, more sophisticated tools and techniques so we can actually hold off on the criticism, hold off on the contempt. One of the biggest relationship killer is the contempt. Once you get to contempt within the partnership, the constant criticism, the constant trying to make them know how much they hurt you, usually it's dead in the water. And the problem is when you get down to it, it's really not that they hurt you. It's really just that you are hurting. But again, you're not able to see that in the moment and you push it outwards. All of this is an inward journey. All we could ask for our partner is that safe, loving space to be in process and to help each other through it.